Journey from $0 to $100,000. An investing adventure. Join me as I take on the challenge of turning $0 into $100,000 through my investing journey. Let's see if I can make it happen. I still remember the day I decided to take control of my finances and start investing. It was a daunting task, especially since I had zero knowledge about the stock market, zero capital, and zero connections in the finance world. But I was determined to learn, to grow, and to reach my goal of $100,000. I didn't have any fancy suits or an MBA from a top-tier university, but I had something that mattered more: the willingness to put in the work. I spent countless hours reading books, articles, and online forums, learning about different investment strategies, and absorbing as much information as possible. As I look back, I realized that starting from scratch was both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, I didn't have any preconceived notions or biases, which allowed me to approach investing with a clean slate. On the other hand, I had to overcome the fear of the unknown, and that was a significant hurdle. When I first started investing, I was terrified of losing money. I would spend hours agonizing over every single trade, every single decision, and every single potential outcome. I was paralyzed by fear, and it was crippling my progress. I also faced another significant challenge: financial constraints. I didn't have a lot of money to invest, which meant I had to be extremely selective about where I put my capital. I had to be willing to take calculated risks, and I had to be patient. Fear and financial constraints were just a few of the many challenges I faced on my investing journey. There were times when I doubted myself, when I felt like giving up, and when I wondered if it was all worth it. But I refused to let those feelings hold me back. I spent months trying to wrap my head around complex financial concepts, poring over charts and graphs, and studying the masters of the investment world. And then, something clicked. I started to feel more confident, more in control, and more empowered. I began to focus on building a solid foundation, on creating a diversified portfolio, and on developing a long-term strategy. I started to see the results of my hard work, and it was exhilarating. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were times when I faced significant setbacks, when my portfolio took a hit, and when I questioned my entire approach. But I refused to let those setbacks define me. Instead, I used them as opportunities to learn and to grow. I explored different investment vehicles, from individual stocks to index funds, from real estate to cryptocurrencies. I made mistakes, I learned from them, and I adapted. One of the most significant lessons I learned was the importance of patience. Investing is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's essential to have a long-term perspective. I also learned that diversification is key, and that it's crucial to spread your risk across different asset classes. I remember the moment when my portfolio finally started to take off. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I felt an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment. It was a pivotal moment in my investing journey, and it marked a significant shift in my mindset. I realized that investing wasn't just about making money. It was about financial freedom, it was about security, and it was about creating a better life for myself and my loved ones. As I look back on my journey from $0 to $100,000, I'm reminded of the incredible transformation that I've undergone. I've gone from being a complete novice to a confident investor, and it's been an incredible ride. I want to encourage all of you to share your own investing stories in the comments below. What challenges have you faced, and how have you overcome them? What strategies have worked for you, and what lessons have you learned along the way? And if you're new to investing, don't be intimidated. Start small, start slow, and start learning. Remember, the journey from $0 to $100,000 is just the beginning. It's a journey to financial freedom, and it's a journey worth taking. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.